I will die on as someone that became a wife at 21 and a mom at 22. Get married and have kids young. Period. Like 10 toes down on that statement. In fact, my only regret is that we didn't get married sooner. That's all. Love you, bye.
And the hill that I will die on is that when women get married too young or have children too young, or they make marriage or motherhood a goal or accomplishment, that ends up becoming their only form of identity. And I know we've all seen it, right? You can see it in their bios, you can see it from all the things that they post on any form of social media, that being a wife or being a mom is the only thing they've ever had any sort of goals or ambitions or dreams of, and it's their only identity. When you are 21, whether you are a man or a woman, you have not yet discovered who you are as an individual. To get married at the age of 21 is absolutely absurd, because that is not the same person that you will be when you're 25. Most likely still won't even be the same person that you are when you're 27. When you haven't had time to discover who you are and your identity and your sense of self, which a majority of people have not done by the time they're 21, there are very few exceptions for that. When you have not discovered who you are as an individual, what your true hobbies and interests are, what your real dreams and goals and ambitions are, what your identities are, and there should be more than one, when you haven't done that and haven't given yourself enough time to do so, then when you get married or when you have children at such a young age, that becomes your only form of identity. And that's quite unfortunate in my mind, which is why I advocate against women doing this. I am happily married. I've been with my husband for coming on 9 years, and we met when we were 21 years old. I cannot fathom having married him at the age of 21. Even though I'm happily and healthily married to him now, and we've been married for over 4 years, and it's been a phenomenal relationship, and I wouldn't have married anyone else, I still would have never married him at the age of 21. What's supposed to naturally happen as you grow older and you have more experiences in life, you're supposed to mature. Your mindset's supposed to mature, your ambitions, your dreams, and your goals and your thoughts are supposed to mature. To make the assumption and to be unrealistic with the expectation that 16 years old, 17-year-olds are supposed to have the same dreams that they're supposed to have when they're 25 if they've experienced the world, it's just unrealistic. And when you create a future based on something that's not rooted in reality, it sets you up for failure. I've made 2 videos that I think are important. One, and it did go viral, and I got a lot of criticism for it, but it was the fact that I think that women should not be engaging in misandrist pink pill content, because I think there are amazing, healthy men out there that you can marry, that you can find, or that will come to you and you can marry. And it's about using your discernment and your wisdom and being okay with being with yourself and having confidence. There are some women who didn't like that. That's fine. I don't care. I will stand 10 toes down on that. I've met very healthy-minded, emotionally intelligent men who respect you, honor you, love you, and are phenomenal partners and will be until the day they die. I'm married to one. I have male friends, guy friends that are, and I have people in my family, guys who are that way. I also made another video talking about how women should prioritize friendship over romantic relationships. I think there's nuance, right? I think most things in life have nuance, and I think that we can look at it from different perspectives. I think prioritizing and setting a goal of being a mother or a wife, I think that's such a shallow goal to have for a woman. Anyone can do it. Anyone can get married. And quite literally, with the exception of individuals who are infertile, pretty much anyone could get pregnant, right? We don't need the bean soup theory, whataboutisms, I don't care. I just explicitly state it, right? There are few people who can't. But for the most part, anyone could get married and anyone could get pregnant. There's nothing special or unique about that. It's not an accomplishment, so it shouldn't be a goal. Now, if you happen to find an amazing partner that you can do life alongside, awesome. If you choose, because you both want to have children, and start a family, and it's healthy and it's great, and you plan for it, awesome, beautiful. But the reality is, when you set that as being your goal and accomplishment, to me, it's indicative of the fact that you have no other personality. You've not figured out who you are as your own person. That is your only form of identity. When you get married that young, or when you get married and have children without understanding who you are as an individual, becoming a mom or becoming a wife is your entire personality and your entire identity, and that's not how it should be. We don't give women the opportunity to really develop themselves and learn who they are in the same sense that we give those opportunities to men. Are there women who lack accountability and then they come on the internet preaching bullshit like this, that we should get married by the time we're 21 and have kids young? We shouldn't do that, okay? That's not something we should encourage, nor is it something that we should do ourselves. Figure out who you are first. Figure out who you are as an individual first before you go make your husband your entire identity. Figure out who you are first before you make your children your entire identity, because what will happen? What will happen when your children move out one day, which they're going to? You're not going to know what to do with yourself, because your only form of identity has left and it's gone. And that's why women in their 50s go through that midlife crisis and they can't let go of their children, especially their sons, right? That's a whole different conversation for a different day. But they can't let go of their children because letting go of their children is like letting go of their identity, and they have no clue who they are without their children. The same thing goes with women who make marriage their entire identity. When their husbands are gone and leave them, either via divorce, cheat on them, whatever it is, they have no sense of self. Have you ever had conversations with these types of women? All they talk about are their husbands. They can't do anything without their husbands. And they'll come on the internet and be like, oh, everybody just hates love. Like, why can't we just be in love? Like, why can't I just always want to be me or my husband? Because there's a level of codependency that becomes very unhealthy. Codependency in and of itself is quite unhealthy, inherently speaking, but then when you go and advance it and then try to make all these justifications, anytime anyone gives you valid criticism on it, it becomes an even bigger issue because you've been blinded to your codependency problems. But these are women that I personally can't be friends with because I need to be friends with women who have their own identity outside of their husbands and outside of their kids. You should want to be more than just a mom. You should want to be more than just a wife in life. Like, you should have more ambitions and goals besides just that. It's okay to love your husbands. I love mine very deeply, but it's not okay to make him your entire personality and identity because not only is it bad for you, but it's bad for him. It puts a burden onto him. When I hear women say, oh, he's my only friend, you're burdening him. Because guess what? We as social creatures were designed to share our emotions with not just one individual who's supposed to bear the weight of all of that. You're supposed to have family and friends that you can rely on as well. It's quite selfish in my eyes, and honestly, I think it's a character defect and character flaw. I think we need to stop encouraging women to set marriage or children as a goal or even an accomplishment, because if everyone can do it, that's not an accomplishment. Not everyone can do it good, and not everyone can do it right, and that's more of an accomplishment. And guess what? To do it good and to do it right is going to take time for you to figure out who you are as an individual, to work through whatever issues you have, to start strengthening your flaws, to sharpen your strengths, and to figure out what you want in life. And you cannot do that by the time you're 21. That is very seldom and very rare.
The hill I will die on as someone that became a wife at 21 and a mom at 22. Get married and have kids young. Period. Like 10 toes down on that statement. In fact, my only regret is that we didn't get married sooner. That's all. Love you. Bye.
I want to be able to check back with her in like 10, 15 years and kind of see where she's at and whether she's divorced and a single mom. And what had me more than even this video and this statement, which I completely disagree with, it's the comments in the video. It's the comments. There's literally girls in there saying like, oh, why would I need to find myself in my 20s when I already wanted to be a wife and a mom? I'm like, there's women saying like, and anybody who disagrees with this are just mad because we don't want to go party and sleep around. Like it's literally like that type of like vibe in her comment section. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh my God, like what is going on with society? Like that's crazy. I am somebody that is 150% against having children young and getting married young. And this is just due to my own lived experience, okay? My mom had me as a teen. She got married young. And all of her friends who did the same thing are all divorced, getting a divorce, are in miserable, horrible marriages that they want out of. And I will say the same for all my friends that did get married young or have children young. Almost all of them are either divorced, remarried, or no longer with the fathers of their children. It's been so interesting to watch like this new rise in like conservatism when it comes to women being mothers and stay at home. And I think it's due to like social media and a lot of things. And I'm just like, it makes me sad because I'm like, it's not about sleeping around or partying. Like it's traveling. It's getting like, you know, life experience. It's having something for yourself before you give yourself to a marriage and children. It's having a career and then maybe going in stay-at-home mom, marriage and children. It's, you know, there's a lot that goes into that. And I feel like when I've seen people who are parents, especially parents at young ages compared to, you know, when they're stable, like in their 30s and stuff, usually it's like the 30s older parents that are better parents. I'm sorry, because you have life experience, you've been through things, your patience is different. Like, I feel like you're more ready, to be honest. Like, so there's a lot of women that's truly what they want to do. They want to get married at 21. They want to have their kids really young, and that's your decision. But when you end up divorced eventually or in a shitty marriage in your 30s, 40s, remember the women that tried to warn you about it and tried to be like, hey, you know, maybe this isn't the best choice. Maybe like go find yourself, which is not meaning sleep around. Like go find yourself. Do like things that you've always wanted to do before you know, get into the situation. Because a lot of them are bitter and resentful. A lot of them are bitter, resentful. And then when they're in their like 30s, 40s, they're trying to live like 20-year-olds because they never got to live like that. It's so interesting, like the mindset. If you look in those comments, it's actually wild in those comments. And it makes me just like cringe so bad because I don't know. It's full of like misogyny. It's a lot of misogyny, and it's a lot of like, you know, just young people who have no life experience that think that because you don't want to like settle down young, it's because you want to sleep around, or you know, I don't know. I hate that we're moving back towards this, you know, women being at home and women like just being mothers and wives, than like women being boss bitches, and women having their own, and women like, you know, finding themselves, and women having children later. I loved that. I love the having children later. You have no business having kids in your teens, in your young 20s. Like I will always stand on that you really do have no business. You really have no business, because it frustrates me. But hey, people are gonna make their choices.
This video was absolutely infuriating to watch as somebody who is a young wife and a young mum. And I wanted to do our stitch it, but it won't let me. So I'll tag it down below with my side of how I felt being a young wife and a young mum. I was married and had kids by the age of 21. It was always what I wanted to do. But in the video, she kind of goes on to say that like people who become wives young and have the goal of a family have no personality outside of being a mum and having a family. And the truth is, I have my personality. I am me. I am able to be me outside of my family. That did not change because I had children. Yes, is my family the most important thing to me? Are my children the most important thing to me? Yes, they always have been and they always will be. That is not a problem. Not everybody wants to go and party. Not everybody wants to travel. Not everybody wants to do this. Yes, my personality will change. I will grow. Things will be different. But I can do that and have a family alongside that. Her argument then was, when you are like 26, 27, you are more emotionally ready for a family. And it kind of gave the idea that like the outcome would be better if I waited till later in life. But I'm going to dig you out here, Mum. So sorry about this. My mum was 27 when she had me. She'd married my dad. She'd travelled. They'd done everything together. Then she had my brother. And then guess what? They got divorced. And she had to start all over again. She had to figure out who she was without my dad. But she waited till later in life. So what's your argument for her? She changed. She wasn't the same person she was when she had me. She got a new husband, created new family, and things were different. So age doesn't matter when you want children. If you want children young, have children young. If you want to wait. This idea that young mums and young wives have nothing outside of their family because they did it young is absolutely unbelievably baffling to me. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Anything can happen at any time. You are constantly growing and constantly changing. And I think my mum would agree. She is 50 odd years old now. She's not the same person she was when she was 27. She made decisions at 27 when you are saying they are fully developed that she probably wouldn't make at 50. You're constantly changing. If you want to have kids, have kids. Don't let people like this convince you that having kids or getting married young is a bad decision.
First, I want to say the only hill that I'm literally going to die on is Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. Can I get an amen? I made a video trying to share my positive experience as a young wife and mother. And while 99.9% of the people that originally saw it understood what I was saying, and I had a lot of people that had positive experiences in the comments as well, there was 0.1% that took it a different way. And watching back, I understand why they did, and it was not my intention to come off that way. Then a person commenting on my video made her own video, which then got on a totally different side of TikTok, which then led a surge of people not only harassing me, but a bunch of other women in the comments, which then led to me taking my post down because it was supposed to be a positive space and it turned really negative. So I'm not going to tolerate that. I definitely do not think that all people should get married young and have children young. Not only from my personal background and experiences, but even the jobs that I've had in my adult life. Even more so, as a Christian, I know that the Lord places different passions and callings on people's hearts. We want people that have a passion for teaching and a passion for children to be in the education system. If you have a passion and a calling for finding justice, then you should be in the courtroom. You could have a calling and desire on your heart to become a mother. If you don't want to get married and you don't want to have children, by all means, don't do that. Life in your 20s was referenced a lot. If you want to go travel in your 20s, do it. If you want to further your education, do it. But if you want to get married, you can do that too. And if you want to have children, you can also do that. For all the people saying you're practically bound for divorce if you get married in your 20s, as a child of divorce, I know that myself and that man that I married will not be the same in 10 years, 20 years, shoot, even 5. We're growing and changing every day. Just as we are not the same 10-year-olds that the other one met and the 16-year-olds we dated in high school. Marriage is not for the uncommitted. I feel that there is an unfortunate misconception that once you get married and have children that your life is over. I just wanted to show, as someone that wants to be a wife and wants to be a mother, that's not the case. It may feel that way if you don't want to be either of those things. And once again, if you knew me at all and knew my background, you would know that I know that raising a kids, takes a lot. And lots of self-sacrifice. But I was fully prepared to make sacrifices when becoming a mother. For all of you saying that I don't know that, can talk to the bubble blisters I used to have on my nipples as I continued to breastfeed my son because I knew that's what was best for him. I know that when I had a kid that I wasn't just having a baby and I wasn't even just raising a child from 0 to 18 and never seeing them again. You do you, boo. I'ma do me. But I love being a wife and a mother, and I can't wait to have more children with my best friend. The world takes all kinds of kinds and would be so incredibly boring if we were all the same. Why don't we not only embrace each other's differences, but celebrate them? And remember that in a world that's so cruel and expensive, it is absolutely free to be kind. Love y'all, bye.
True. It's actually free to be kind. Okay. So go down in the comment section and share your thought about this conversation down in the comment section. But as always, please keep it respectful. You're on this channel. We're allowed to disagree, but do it in a very respectful way. So go ahead, feel free. Share your thought. Love to know what you guys think. And do you think women should get married young and have their kids young? I want to know your take. Run it now. So anyway, so yeah, it's my own thought on it. Coming from a society like Nigeria, where this is something that has been pushed a lot, I've heard it a lot, and a lot of people have said it. I personally, I don't believe that you should get married young or even have children young. I don't believe that, and this is where I feel like when you're young, first of in your early 20s, you are a child. Please, somebody, when you're in your early 20s, you're a child, and research has proven your rational part of your brain, your cortex has not developed. So the way you think is really different. And I believe, and I like the fact that people have agreed that the more you grow, the more like you change things, you involve, and your likes and your dislikes. Like I personally, I'm going to speak for myself. I know that as I grow older and I grow more confident, very self-aware of who I am, what I am, and what I really want out of life. And I remember as a young girl in my 20s, I wanted the things that society says I should want, like having the husband, the babies, work the 9 to 5. I had all that was what I was aspiring to be. And it's a different take as a young girl when you have that confidence and you know who you are. The way you move is different from when you are a young girl and you're still people pleaser and you're pandering to what society expect of you than what you want for yourself. So I personally, I don't believe that as a young girl you should get married or have kids. And if you've been on this channel for a while, you know how I feel about marriage. And I'm 41 years old, and I still feel like the institution of marriage, it does not favor us as women, especially the structure, the traditional structure of marriage. The way marriage is being structured, the setting of marriage, it does not benefit you. It does not allow you as a woman to strive. My personal opinion. I believe that there's nothing wrong with getting married. There's nothing wrong with finding your partner, your lifetime partner to do life with. For me, I believe that as people, as humans, we are social creature. We're supposed to coexist together. We're supposed to build each other up. We're supposed to have community. I believe in companionship and all that. But I believe that when it comes to marriage, if you have to do marriage and it has to succeed and benefit you as a woman, it has to be the non-conventional way of marriage. That's the only way it's going to benefit you. And having children, a lot of time, see, this is come like my mom got married young, and I know a lot of people. I have friends that got married young too, and I have sisters too that got married young. Let me even like I have people around me that got married young, and let me tell you, the way it's progressive to the place where they will not say that, but you could clearly know and hear them like what they know now and what they know then. They will have probably made a different decision. They love their husband, they love their kids, but they will probably make a different decision if they know what they know now. Now that they have grown, they are very self-aware, they are very intentional, they know what life is. They are, sometimes as a young person, maybe if you're in your father's house and all that, the way you perceive life is different from when you are now out there. Life is not lifing. The way life was for me in my 20s and the way life was for me in my 30s, they're totally different. The way life is now for me in my 40s, definitely it's going to be different. It already feels different already. And I know the way it's going to be in my 50s is definitely going to be different. So I personally, I believe that be very, very, like, give yourself time to grow, to know yourself, which is going to take a lot of time. Know yourself, know what you want, know who you are, and then decide if having a kid is important to you. And you guys know how I feel about it. If you know you're going to commit to having a kid, you could as well just get married. So when you convince yourself, or when you now know that having a child is something you want out of life, then go find that right partner that's going to merge with you and build a beautiful life and get married. But for me, never you have a kid without a husband. I believe having a child is one of the most important decisions you will make in your life. And who you have to child with is even more important than the most important one. You get? So I personally, I don't believe that as a young people you should get married. And because the truth is that you should have kids and get married. You can get married and get divorced, but you lose a lot of yourself, you lose a lot of your identity, you lose yourself aware, because when you are not married and that was not your identity and all that, just you tend to keep discovering yourself. But as people, we are being, which I know, like I said, we're social creature, we're supposed to be with each other. But as young girls, we're being told that we need that person to cling on to. That's the person we need a man and all that. And this is not me saying that we don't need a man with them. We get that, but most of the time we get into there out of a place of insecurity, out of a place of fear, out of a place of, oh, this is what I should do and all that, rather than you to be very self-aware of who you are, and what you want out of life. And for me, those are the most three hills I'm going to die on. Know who you are, and what you want out of life. They are the most important things you can ever do to yourself, and be very intentional and authentic to yourself about it. So yeah, I don't believe, don't do it. If you're young, don't do it. Go get your bag, secure yourself. I know that I posted a video yesterday of a woman that has been has been a stay-at-home wife for 10 years. She got married at 20 something, 27. In your 20s, I just feel like get in your 30s. I feel like in your 30s, you're already getting that confidence of who you are, what you are. 20s, I don't think so. Anyway, guys, you guys let me know what you guys think. Share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversations. So go ahead, feel free, share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push up my content for more people to see. And that will be you supporting this channel and this girl, yeah? So go on and do that. Subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys in my next video. Deuces.